Yes, that's exactly right. They're asking all of us to roll back our gatherings and ramp back up our precautions by wearing our masks and social distancing. But there's a special warning out there for parents with kids in schools that you should be extra cautious. We're not out of the woods by any metric, and health officials believe the hospital situation in Oregon could continue to get worse before it gets better. With kids heading back to school and holidays quickly approaching, Multnomah County Health says everyone, but especially parents, need to be more alert to combat the potential spread of COVID-19. That means restricting extracurricular activities and group gatherings. With students being around other students and school staff, they're asking parents to limit exposure elsewhere. But with even more precautions, it leaves some wondering if kids are truly safe at school. This time last year, we were saying it was not safe for kids to be back in class, back in person. Obviously, case numbers are much higher right now than they were even last year. What's changed?
We've learned a lot about COVID. We are also now learning about the Delta variant. We also have learned that kids don't do well when they're not physically in school. So I think what you're seeing now is a commitment to getting our kids back in school.
Dr. Jennifer Vines with Multnomah County Health also says using what we've learned, like the importance of masks and distancing, will also help keep kids in school and safe. Now, coming up tonight at 5 o'clock, we also heard about the possibility of a vaccine verification. So basically, if you want to go to a restaurant or a store, you may have to show that you have been vaccinated. We'll tell you what the county is talking about in regards to that coming up. That's exactly right. And today they spent quite a bit of time talking about that particular idea, that vaccine verification. It was county health officials and county commissioners who were discussing it. And they say the thought of you having to maybe show your vaccine verification to go in to grab a bite to eat or even maybe to shop is something that's on the table.
You can get his arm like under his hip a little.
Cases in Oregon are rising to the highest point they have ever been in this pandemic, to the point that health officials are now looking at even more options to encourage people to get vaccinated, keep people safe, and drive case rates down.
We're at a real pivot point in this pandemic that we have not been at before.
Jessica Guernsey is the Multnomah County Public Health Director. She says every Oregonian needs to step up, especially over these next few weeks as cases continue to surge and hospitals become overwhelmed. As we find a way forward, many places and venues have started requiring proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test to attend gatherings. That blueprint soon could be an option for businesses, including restaurants.
We are looking at that. We're not looking at it in isolation of where we are in this surge.
Guernsey says first we need to get a handle on this surge. But in the meantime, they are looking for a way that is equitable, including how people would show their proof of vaccination instead of having to carry their vaccination card.
There are some other questions that need to be looked at, in particular, the technology issues and creating a uniform platform that people can use.
As it stands, Guernsey says roughly 2 out of every 3 eligible adults and kids 12 and up in the county are vaccinated. She and other health officials hope that number continues to rise. They're hopeful incentives like dining indoors will be enough to get those holdouts on board. Now, again, we could be months away from that sweeping decision in Multnomah County. In the meantime, though, a number of events and areas in our county have already decided to go that direction. The Moda Center, of course, being one of the most notable, asking for vaccination proof or proof of a negative test. Now, public health officials, though, today wanted to make sure to remind people that pandemics are temporary, but the way we get out of them is by following those protocols like wearing a mask and
Well, Lincoln, some are. The Salem-Keizer School District telling me it has seen an increased interest in the last few weeks for its Edge Online program. And parents are telling me directly they've either already made the decision or they are strongly considering keeping their kids at home for this school year. This, as their school year is set to start in just a matter of days.
I have kids ranging from 4 to 16.
We introduced you to Cynthiana Powell Monday, the mom of 4, now homeschooling, partly to protect her family from COVID.
And for you, it is a safety, it is a health concern. You have too many at-risk things at home to risk going to school.
Yes.
In the past day, since my conversation with her, I've continued to hear from parents worried about the school year ahead and now making the tough decision to keep their kids home.
I just don't have the time, unfortunately, for that.
Anna Pickell telling me she works 50 plus hours a week. Homeschooling isn't an option. She thought it may be too late, but she was able to enroll her 9-year-old into David Douglas's online school.
It was a really hard decision.
She's worried because he has severe asthma, as does one of Cynthiana's kids.
My 16-year-old has asthma, severe. She was premature.
For both these families, staying out of the classroom is the best choice, and it's one others are now making right now. A Beaverton school district saying there are currently 961 students signed up for their Flex online school, but the district's expecting potentially 150 more students to make that move before the first day, which is next week. BSD saying that move is likely going to be from parents similar to Cynthiana and Anna, parents who are just worried about sending their kids back to school in person in the middle of this COVID-19 spike. The challenge is not every school district has availability in their online program. Salem Kaiser telling me their EDGE program is at capacity.
Breaking news.
That breaking news, a fire in the Dalles forcing evacuations right now. So we are told this fire is estimated to be about 5 acres in size. Structural task force crews from Hood River, they are en route to fight this. It's a new fire that started at the west end of town near Chenoweth. It's been going on now for approximately 1 hour. These are the details coming into us just right now.
So again, there's a level 1 evacuation for the north end of Sandlin Road and a level 3, that's get out now, everything south of 13th Street from Irvine to Verdant. And of course, meteorologist Dave Selesky is monitoring the conditions there and what they're dealing with. Dave?
Not good conditions out there. Temperatures are in the 80s, but the problem is going to be for the rest of the afternoon going in towards the evening hours. Strong west winds there is howling down the gorge right now. Let's go to the map, and as you can see, we're seeing the current wind speed now in the Dalles at 26 miles an hour. Last 15, 20 minutes, I've been seeing some wind gusts reported at the Dalles airport to 37 miles an hour. So again, firefighters, they're going to have a tough time with this fire. A lot of grass, open space in that area. It's going to cause this fire to move very rapidly. And part of the problem is because we are seeing these winds, these very strong westerly winds, that fire is going to have a tendency to jump. You'll see some sparking going on, where you get some flames or some sparks that'll jump well ahead of where the main fire line is going to be. This is going to be a problem for the rest of the afternoon going in towards the evening hours. We're not going to see these winds die down anytime soon. Here's the smoke plume forecast. As you can see, we're going to zoom on into that area. That smoke again going from Chenoweth out east towards the Dalles. So we'll have some problems again later on with some air quality, but the immediate concern is going to be for firefighters there to get a handle on these flames and put things out because of the strong winds and the very dry conditions right now that are causing all these problems on the east side of the Cascade. So here we go once again with a brush fire, a wildfire near a major population center out in Wasco County towards the Dalles. Back to you guys.